Joining us today in what is arguably known as India's cultural capital, Calcutta, is author, adventurer, and academic Devopriya Roy. Devopriya studied literature and performance studies at Presidency College before moving to New Delhi for higher studies. In the midst of a PhD in Natya Shastra, no less, she authored the India Today bestseller, The Vague Woman's Handbook, a quirky novel that was published by HarperCollins in March 2011. She followed it up with The Weight Loss Club, The Curious Experiments of the Nancy Housing Cooperative, published by Rupa and Company in July of last year. Currently, the author is working on a sequel to The Vague Woman's Handbook, as well as a travel log, The Heat and Dust Project, which she's writing with husband Saurav Jha, also a writer. She begins the conversation talking about the travel book.
It's a travel memoir. It's also a contemporary India book with a twist, you know, so it's a fun, yeah.
Well, so tell us, let's start with the book.
With the Heat and Dust Project.
With the Heat and Dust Project, yes, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Well, you know, it was a big leap of faith because we started writing our first books. So my novel and his first book, they happened at the same time. And so then we decided that we'd go the full sort of the whole way and be full-time writers. So that's what we did. Mm-hmm. We quit our jobs and we sort of, you know, made our lives much more frugal, and, you know, we sort of closed in. And that's when we decided that we'd travel across India on a very tight budget, 500 rupees a day.
Yeah, my wife, when I was telling her about it, said, you know, can you ask her where she stayed and all that? Because
yes.
I want to know how that's possible. You know?
Yeah. So what we did is, you know, we stayed in a lot of seedy places, you know, the ghante ke hisab se kind of places. So that was fun. And they'd always ask us in the reception, there'd be this really dark kind of a reception, and they'd say, "Aap log kya relation ho?" And friends. So I'd have to say, no, you know, we are married. And fortunately, my passport actually also has Saurav's name. So they'd be very disappointed. They'd much rather we were friends, you know.
And the excitement around that.
Yeah. So it was great fun. But we also stayed in a lot of hippie sort of places.
Right.
So on the backpacker circuit, India has a very sort of popular backpacker circuit, and there it's very easy actually. You do get fairly decent rooms for 250, 300, or we did at least when we were traveling, which was 2010 and 11. So we managed. Okay. It's quite interesting, but of course some states are very easy to do this way, but some are harder. Maharashtra is a bit expensive. So it's tough to find rooms, rooms like this in Maharashtra.
Right.
Yeah, so we went a bit over budget there, but we balanced with some of the other states.
So it was sort of on average 500 rupees.
Yeah, but mostly we tried to sort of, you know, keep yeah. But what happened in Bombay, which is very expensive, so even on the in Colaba, there are these, you know, backpacker sort of joints, which are very interesting, but they're more expensive. They're more than 500 anyway. So what we did is, in Bombay, we had somebody offering to keep us at them. Well, so we just sort of took that on. Yeah. So we've had that also.
Okay. Well, was that through Facebook? Maybe you can tell us about this whole concept of the dynamic novel.
Yeah. So what we did while we were traveling is we started this group called the Heat and Dust Project, a book in motion.
Right.
And you know, so we said, okay, so this is what we're doing, and this is the budget, and we're going to travel. And while we travel, we'll put up pictures. So we started doing that, and people started joining the group. Okay. So everybody thought it was interesting, so they sent the links to their friends, and then they joined. So we'd have people joining every day. We'd pick up, so we'd put up photos, and you know, while traveling, we didn't carry the laptops along with us. We thought that would be just too cumbersome because we didn't know where we would stay and whether it would be safe, and plus, we just wanted to sort of surrender to the travel completely. You know, for a generation as connected as ours, the only way to do that is if you actually. So we would actually go to cyber cafes, again very seedy cyber cafes, and so we'd sort of plug the camera in, upload the pictures, and there'd be comments, So that's how. So then people started giving suggestions, and the person in Bombay was actually my brother-in-law's friend, but he was very active on the group, and so while we were about to come to Bombay, he said that, so you guys stay with us, save your money. And
so how long was the trip in total?
so it's 4 months.
Okay.
So there was the pilot run. What we call the pilot run is when we did a bit of a test run, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and a little bit of Western UP, and then the journey, so the project. So that was 3 months continuous travel on local buses. So 16,000 kilometers. So we started from Delhi and we got to Kanyakumari only on buses. So through Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra and Karnataka and Kerala and then Tamil Nadu. And then we climbed up to Chennai, which is where we ended. We finished all our money, and then we did another round of traveling in so Rishikesh and Punjab, and so a little bit of that.
And the book will be coming out when, do you think?
This year, I hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still working on it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's sort of it's actually it's massive, and it's also a kind of a bad idea if a couple are doing a book together.
Right.
So I keep telling Saurav every day, I'm never doing this again. And he said, oh yeah, we'll see.